Are you wanting to put the processor in first, or?
It don't matter. We got all afternoon. We might pop heads and do the front end.
All right.
But yeah, definitely today we'll do the processor. We can probably do the whole thing.
Okay.
I think. It's early. It's only 2. I'll let you back up and I'll gotta get this.
Well, afternoon everybody. We are getting things switched around here, getting set up for corn silage. We're a couple weeks out. We were a little bit late on getting planting done this year, so we're not quite ready just yet as far as corn being ready, but we're getting the machines all set up, ready to go. That way when it's go time, we can go. So, pulling the chopper out here now. We're gonna drop this head and switch and put the corn head on. Put the processor in and get this thing gone over and get ready for corn.
There's a pair of dust plugs in that box over there. Hydraulic fittings for the hay head.
Did you pull the shaft yet?
No, I'll need a piece of cardboard and a pry bar so I can lay underneath there to get that.
Grab you a pry bar out of the toolbox yet. I thought there was a shorter one. Is there not a shorter one in there?
I don't think so.
We're done with this probably.
I think so, yeah.
put your jack down?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I might pull forward a little bit more so we're closer to the air compressor and drop it and back up, then I'll shut it off, and I think we'll blow everything off good. So it's not so dirty to work on.
Okay.
Stuff this year, like last year with that shock absorber.
Yeah. And then we broke the bolt. First we thought it was just the bolt. Put a new bolt in it, broke that.
Chain. Battery chain.
Yeah.
We got a couple of them in stock now. Couple places. I don't know, I was looking at corn down at my place. I think it's closer than what I think it is. Yeah, no, it's not going to be too terribly down on that. Do that one, doesn't it? This stuff up here is a ways off. Bigger silos, too.
Come take a sample.
Yeah, we could. That would help. That would help. You get a better idea than guessing.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the next things to do. We just got done blowing a chopper off. Now we're putting in, I don't know what the proper term is, but we call this the corn saver pan. It goes underneath the drum here.
Bridges the gap between this bottom roll and the head. There's about a 2-inch gap right here between the two, and this rubber flap bridges that gap so that it doesn't leak shelled corn. When you pick up the head at the end of the field, if there's any chunks of cob and shelled corn, you'll just fall and make a pile. That's how you know that you need it when you start losing corn. I think I have this right.
The geese will be your best friend if you forget to put that in.
Yeah, they'll
love you.
Yep, they sure will. I think this needs to...
Did we need a hammer for that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to.
What do you need? Down?
Yeah. Other side. Okay. A little bit on the west side. Good. Now give me a bolt. I don't think it matters which one. The hole's probably full of dirt. The way it feels.
You want to punch? Or maybe your pocket pick you carry?
That punch won't reach. It's got to go 4 inches.
Oh, you want a different punch?
Maybe. Let me see. It might be started actually. Boy. believe it. This is a lucky day. Buy a lottery ticket, quick. Give me a remote. I don't believe it.
Well, if you get 2, it's a lucky day.
Yeah.
Boy.
I need a wrench. What is that, 17?
15, I think.
I don't believe it. That's the best that's ever been.
You want a wrench or socket?
A ratchet wrench was fine. Your wrench.
Well, here's hoping it's 17 because that set doesn't have 15. So there's a 17. You tell me it's too big?
Just right.
Oh, okay.
Yellow jacket, would you get out of here? Quit trying to sting me. I had been attracted to bugs. Well, that's the spinning. Is there a 16?
There is, but I doubt that set has it. Let me go check.
What's in here is a different size.
Oh, goody. Well, I guess there was a 15. I can't read today. Here's a 15.
Wonder why we have 2 different sizes. I don't know. I think I remember that from other years. Yeah, I didn't know this existed until that one year it was leaving corn all over the place, and I called him and said, "Do you have the corn saver pan?" "What corn saver pan?" "It goes on the bottom of the feed rolls." I said, "No, I don't." I said, "Well, come on down."
15. Try
Yep.
it.
Nope.
Bigger?
So it must be a 16. Is the socket set?
I can get you a socket, yeah. I believe 16 and 5/8 are the same.
Oh, okay.
That's why they don't give you one. Oh, it depends on manufacturer. Some manufacturers say you don't need this size. Other manufacturers say you do. And it depends on what day of the week it is. The most annoying one for me is when they don't give you an 18, they give you a 19. Because 18 is the odd size. 19 is the same as 3/4. So whoever come up with that ingenious idea.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Says 5/8. I'm taking this 95 XTK skid steer down here. Dad's gonna move the combine out of the combine shed. We store our processor in the front of the combine shed in the winter months. We don't leave that in the machine. When we're done chopping corn, we pull the processor out, hose it out, clean it out. We put some rust prevention on it to keep it from rusting. Those rolls in there can rust, so we like to put some rust prevention on. Well, anyway, so he's gonna pull that combine out. I'm gonna use the skid steer going there. We got a little homemade crane that we use on the front of this here manure fork bucket we have. This manure fork bucket gets used for literally nothing aside from some occasional work moving some stone around, and then mainly anymore moving our processor. So we'll actually use that crane to pick the processor up. We've got a winch on the end. I use a remote, and we'll let that processor in from the top of the machine down. We used to try to take it in the side. It was kind of hairy, and thankfully nobody ever got injured doing it, but I don't recommend doing it that way. So it's much nicer to finally have something that we can go through the top. So get this combine out of the way and grab the processor. Well, this is our little homemade apparatus we have. We got a piece of well casing pipe. Got a chain coming back to a clevis at the bucket, just to kind of help distribute the load of that. Don't know exactly how much that thing weighs. I don't know, 500-600 pound, Dad. What do you think? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Anyways, got a 2,500 pound old hobo freight winch on the end. I need to re-engage the gearbox too. Anyways, bought that for a whole different purpose. But anyways, we use it for this. Double the cable, we hook back down onto here, go back through and hook onto there. We got a cord that we run. This just kind of real quick, like it's not anything professional. Run up through the boom here and down to a plug we made in the cab there. It's got a weather tight connector on it. So we'll hitch it on here and he'll pick it up all the way up to the top of the machine. There's a door at the top of the machine. You can kind of see there that's open. We swing the spout off to the side. We'll pick this up, and I got this little remote here, and I can fine tune it with this remote. Works pretty well. It's a lot better than what we used to have to do. We used to take the processor with the same crane, just without the winch and all that fun stuff on it. And we used to take that processor and turn it sideways so it would fit up and down through this door. Well, then once you got in here, you had to try to lay it down. And when you did that, you didn't want to run into that because this is your radiator screen. You'll break that. And the floor used to, there's like a piece of 1/4 inch plate there now. But it used to just have like 16 gauge steel, just like this cheap stuff here. It might not even be 16 gauge. Anyways, and if you set that processor down on that floor, it would bow the floor out. And so we beefed the floor. We used to bring it through on the side, and it was kind of dangerous. Somebody had to be in here after we got it in to try to get that thing flattened out. You basically had to leave it standing up, unhook it, and hook back on the front, and try to pivot the thing to make it lay flat, and then you had to turn it so it would get on the track so that you could use the sprocket to winch it into place. And it was just kind of a hairy situation. I mean, it used to take us several hours to put in a processor. They have this door up front on the top here, the one that's open, you can see the daylight through there. But we used to not have a skid steer big enough that could pick something that heavy up that high. We just used to have 1840s. There's one there and there's one down at Mom and Dad's. Then when we started our mechanized hay situation, we ended up getting a 95 XT. And this thing's a big brute. You can pick up, well, darn near anything we ever need to pick up. So we use it for that. And it's got a lot of reach, and it can withstand that kind of weight hanging out there on the end of it. So
game changer.
Yeah, it definitely made life a lot easier around here. So
right. I'm gonna try and get straight.
Yeah, we're gonna pick this thing up and
pick this up and watch to make sure that wire doesn't get pinched.
Yeah. Can you back up a little bit? Oh. A little more.
Pardon?
Back up a little bit, please. Oh. All right, I need you to swing towards the front of the machine, about 6 inches. All right, I need you to back up, probably about 6 inches. Ho! We're gonna have to go forward another like 6 inches. Well, so towards the front of the chopper. Just hang on. What am I talking on? What's your deal? See what I mean about there being a whole bunch of stuff you can run into. The biggest issue I'm having now, that angled piece of metal right there is binding on the side of my processor. So you gotta swing it in, but you gotta be all the way in here to do so. Now I'm not straight. I need to be straight. Okay.
We made a special wrench specifically for doing this. Yeah, the belt bend is on the tire. There's a lot of pressure on this belt tensioner on this thing. And it's a rather confusing belt pattern, so I drew a diagram of it on the side of the chopper here with a magic marker. So I can remember how it goes. So it's going to come back first. Whoops. Well. No, I'm thinking wrong. I'm sorry. It doesn't go around there. That comes up against it from the front side.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. this is off of groove.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Now it looks right. And now you release the pressure. I did it wrong a minute ago. I released pressure right the belt on. It's a tight sucker. You don't want to be in the way of that. And we just made this little keeper so that stays right there. Alright, I guess I'm ready for the belt shield. And I dropped that out there somewhere.
Oop.
So it's OSHA approved. Well, if somebody climbs in here for some reason, they don't get on the belt.
All that and your electrical line there
Won't get pushed in.
won't get inhaled. We're done with this 19, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
Did you need that red screwdriver for that thing?
No, actually I didn't.
And if we're looking for our processor chain, it's in the toolbox here.
Chain?
The one that goes on it.
Oh, okay.
The chain. From side to side with the eye bolt.
Yeah. Here is a very critical step that I learned the hard way. You cannot tighten this by hand. You might think you can, but you can't. Because there's a lot of pressure on that grease line. It needs to be done with the pliers. And the other year, I thought I had it together and I didn't. And we roasted the bearing. Because it wasn't putting grease through what it was supposed to. So that's a FYI for all you Klaus guys out there. You probably already know it. The Germans, I must admit, have got it together. They've got dust plugs for everything. So when you unhook something, you plug a dust plug together to keep dirt out. Dirt is your worst enemy. And those guys are smart. Everything on this machine was protected except for the hydraulic outlets under the cab up front for the hydraulic on the head. And I just got a couple cheap boots and put on there. But you got to have all these covered up or else you get dust in there, and then dust in your automatic grease system, and then you're in trouble. And you're starting to chase plugs, and that's no good. Okay, so this one right here, you're supposed to use the pliers on. I learned that from the Klaus guys down at Reberland. Tighten it with something other than your hands. Is that the biggest one?
No, I have to get to the bottom. What size do you think?
What is this? 24?
Use it?
28?
Oh.
Is there 28?
There's 25, 32.
Well, it's bigger than 25.
Well, you don't have right wrenches then.
Just have to use pliers or vice grips. Sorry.
I don't know how to go get you.
There's a vice grips in there. Supposed to be. And one time we pinched a grease line with our old processor installation method, and that messed up a bearing. It was behind there when we were wrestling with it, and it got pinched. which came back to bite us later in the season. It started smoldering in here, actually. Remember?
Mm-hmm. It's coming across the field, and there's a big plume of smoke coming out of the back of this thing. I thought it was on fire.
That's tight. It's bottomed out, so that should be greasing. I'll give you this, and I guess I'm ready for the
Hose.
vacuum hose.
Well, got done putting the head on the chopper, processor in, all that fun stuff, so I think that's where we're going to end the day. I think I'm going to go in the shop, do a couple things here, and then when I'm done with that, I'm going to go inside and edit you guys a video because I am deathly behind on editing. So I guess hopefully this is a whole new video you guys see somewhat on time. But until then, thanks guys for watching. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.